Me here in Daytona Beach this afternoon with the first half of today's doubleheader, beginning with the DME Blue Prep team taking on Florida Elite Prep out of Miami. In town for this afternoon's doubleheader, Luke Morrow alongside Michael Panaggio. So thank you for making us part of your afternoon here on the live stream, however you're joining us for this Friday matinee. Tip up in one by the visiting Colts, and we're underway with Florida Elite Prep in town from down south in Miami, wearing the road blues, and DME obviously in those home whites. Begins with a three-pointer that's off the mark, and the Florida Elite Prep Colts come up empty on their first possession as Fisher will bring up for DME. No hands off to Potomac. The drive to the hoop, the foul with the bucket, and DME strikes first with a chance for a three-point play.
Good take by Potomac. He's really been playing good basketball lately. His confidence is raised, I think, since that IMG game where he was phenomenal off the bench for Coach Jesus.
Free throw's no good off the back iron, and he can't finish off the opportunity for the trio of points. DME has the first basket of the game. Turnover by the Colts, stolen away. And Potomac brings up again for DME, already with the first bucket. They go to the high post. Back out to Fisher. Potomac with 10 on the shot clock, gets it on the wing. Off a screen. 5 to shoot as he kicks it out towards Fisher by midcourt. Now with 3 on the shot clock. The step-back three-pointer is blocked for a shot clock violation on a nice defensive series by Florida Elite Prep. So the Colts will get it back after forcing the shot clock violation. 2 20-minute halves, 30-second shot clocks. And the Colts will try to get on the board. A team made up of mostly international players based out of Miami, about 4 hours south here from Daytona.
Coach is international too, and assistant coach as well.
Playing a different style of basketball than maybe some are used to seeing, with the shot clock to single digits, the dump down and the lay-in good for Attica. Quickly the other way comes DME, losing it out of bounds, so inbound into their own hoop. So each team with a basket, nearly 2 minutes in. Potomac to inbound for DME, goes to the corner. The catch and shoot three is too long for Gilliard, but DME keeps it with the rebound. Colts able to clear after a couple of misses from DME. A near turnover in the transition.
Good hands.
Another near turnover again on the possession. Colts fortunate to still keep it. Shot clock did reset with the change of possession, and it leads to the lay-in for Jode to give the Colts the lead. Quickly the other way, DME ties it right back up.
Coach for Florida Prep can't be too happy after a made basket. You give up a layup in transition. Got to get back after made or missed baskets.
So each team trading a bucket, tied at 4. Almost 3 minutes gone by here in Daytona. DME on the defensive end, forcing another steal, and now looking to push.
Number 6, Jihad, Mo Jihad was actually at the DME camp this summer. I recognize him. He was at our summer camp. Good ball player, good in the open floor. Has a very good step back, going left or right. He's from the Middle East. I forgot what country he's from. I think he's from Dubai, actually.
Randall couldn't hit the jumper, and now a foul in the backcourt after DME gained possession. And so Jihad trying to lead his team now as a visitor here at DME to a victory this afternoon. It's been a tough year at times for Florida Elite Prep. lost a game earlier this season by more than 60 points. And the early going this afternoon tied at 4 with DME as the home team resets with Potomac up top. Now go inside to Fisher. Shot clock to single digits. There's Gilliard getting the shot rejected at the rim by Randall.
Good help side there by Randall. He's been very active early on. Dorian Fisher's a interesting guard. He's so big and strong. He can post, he can pass, he can play off the ball. He can be your primary ball handler. He's a very good player. Beautiful pass there, but great block by Randall on the recovery from the help side.
And so a quick timeout taken here, 4-4 score between these two teams. A few minutes in here between DME and Florida Elite Prep out of Miami in the first half of today's doubleheader, with the second game coming up right after the conclusion of this one at 2 o'clock here on the same stream that you're watching this affair. So thanks for spending part of your Friday afternoon with us here in Daytona Beach. And so far, each team with 4 points in about 4 minutes. And off to a bit of a slow start on each side. What have you seen from these two teams as they try to settle in this afternoon?
Well, both coaches are international coaches, and I think they both have good offenses. And so that style of play, both coming from Europe or Jordan for Coach Alsus, is a lot of deliberate, good actions offensively. So it's going to be a slower pace game, especially with this team having almost all international kids. So I think this game will be in the 60s or 70s unless someone runs away with it.
Out of the timeout, Potomac brings up for DME. Looks really alley-oop, not there. Fisher, open for three, will take it and nails the NBA triple.
If he hits that consistently, he's a really tough guard because he's so strong. He can get you on his hip. He's shifty with the ball. He's very good in pick and rolls. And he's a team leader, very vocal and understands how to play. I really like Dorian Fisher out of Atlanta, Georgia.
And now DME with the full court pressure, able to be broken by the Colts. There's a corner three on the other end for Florida Elite. That's off the mark. And DME looking to run. Bumped and fouled. It was Boris who picked up the foul on the hip check at midcourt for Florida Elite Prep, and DME will be forced to inbound. All three fouls to start this game have gone against the visitors.
The Europeans use a lot of fouls in transition in the open court to try to stop the transition game, and you'll see a lot of those if this game gets out of the pace they don't like to play at, or they think that that was a great hands by Fisher there, and that was actually off the knee, but they didn't see it.
So Florida Elite Prep will inbound into their own hoop. They lob inside. Now the kick out, and resetting up top is Attikin. Quick ball movement, the drive to the hoop, and a foul. First foul against DME. Jode was bumped on his drive towards the rack, and so the Colts will inbound once again under their own hoop. Clock has yet to start off the inbounds, so the shot clock is still at 20. And now they'll run the clock, so a few extra moments for Florida Elite Prep. Doesn't matter. A travel called against Attikin while he was double-teamed out by midcourt, and the Colts turn it over. DME with the 7-4 lead and the basketball 5 minutes in. Fisher trying to go across the baseline, has to pull it out. Hands to Gilliard. Gilliard with the pull-up three-pointer off the mark.
No Josh Edwards today for DME. Another one of their best slashers and guys off the dribble who can create for himself or others. They struggled the other day with him out, and Tyrese was actually out, so it's good to get him back.
Fisher with the nice sidestep to the hoop for the lay-in after that was started by a block on the defensive end for DME.
Good hands.
Fisher with those quick hands again pokes the ball free and out of bounds as Joe is trying to bring it up. So Florida Elite will have to inbound against the press once more in the backcourt. Seen a lot of great quick reactions from DME on the defensive side already today, mainly by Fisher, who got a piece of that pass once more, stolen away. Here's Patoma. Extra pass to the corner that was bobbled, may have cost the 3, and a foul called on the drive to the hoop.
That's 2 on Boris.
So DME will inbound in the front court with a 5-point lead. Not even 6 minutes gone by here in our opening half of today's doubleheader. Fisher getting it in just in the nick of time. And he'll get it right back to run the offense. Off a screen, moves left. To Patoma on the wing. Gets into the lane, powering his way to the hoop. The shot couldn't fall. Rebound was tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Randall, and so DME will keep it.
Arminas Griskas, he had a really good game against IMG when he came in off the bench for Coach Alsus, and really like what he brings to the table as a mobile stretch 4 who can shoot the ball, good offensive rebounder, runs the floor really well. With no true big now, with Santiago out with the torn ACL, Arminas has picked up the slack since the Christmas break.
Griska couldn't handle that tough pass inside, stolen away by Florida Elite. Well, they haven't scored in the last 3 minutes and change. Here comes a double team out at the top. Patoma poking it free for the steal. Takes it all the way himself for the easy lay-in.
Fisher's activity on the defensive end has been phenomenal today. He's already got his hands on a lot of balls. He disrupted that on the trap, and he's been very good for DME early on with 5 points as well.
Randall blowing the layup, but Joe there to clean it up, and there's the first bucket for Florida Elite in nearly 4 minutes. So they trail by 4. Trail by 5. There's a steal out at midcourt for Florida Elite. Behind the back pass, a hesitation, but a blown layup. No good at the rim by Shahad. And now with hands on his head, he knows he missed an opportunity there for the Florida Elite Prep Colts. So they'll inbound under their own hoop. There's a catch-and-shoot 3 that was well off the mark. And the rebound knocked out of bounds. We'll give it over to DME after the miss from Joe. He'll stay with Florida Elite Prep under their own hoop after the miss 3. DME had knocked it out of bounds. Off the inbounds play, the shot is laid in down the center of the lane.
Good execution there off the baseline out of bounds.
And Joe gets the finish for the Colts. Cuts the deficit to 3. A foul called out on the perimeter. Fisher was dribbling up top. He was fouled by Joe to just score that basket. That's 5 fouls now on the Colts. And DME will inbound. Turnaround 3-pointer in the corner. Tough shot. No good for Finney. And a foul on the rebound. That's going to keep it here. A push from behind against the Colts. And DME will inbound into their own basket.
CJ, that was a tough shot by Charles Jones. I wasn't crazy about it. I mean, would have been great for a highlight tape, but Coach Alsus can't be too happy about that shot selection. Very tough shot.
There's Jones with a much easier look, and he gets the lay-in. DME halting the short run put on by the Colts. They lead by 5, nearly midway through the first half. Atacon getting it across midcourt. There's Sergi down the lane. Couldn't get a bit of a hook shot to fall. DME pushing the other way. Quickly up ahead in the front court. Pass was kicked. Sam was trying to get it inside to the cutting Richardson.
Sam just came here recently. He's a gym rat. He has been in the gym relentlessly since he's been here. He's got a really cool story where he actually had to raise and work to get able to get here. He played very well in the IMG game and earned himself a scholarship the other day to Palm Beach State, a junior college, very good junior college in South Florida.
There's free throws upcoming for Fisher. Already 7 fouls against Florida Elite Prep, so the 1-and-1 is good. Getting Fisher another. Just 1 foul against DME here to start. DME with the 6-point lead here with 11:31 to play in the first half. Fisher knocks down both. Adekon walks it up. DME picks up in the half-court set defensively. Merchant guarding the ball with some tight pressure. Shot clock down to single digits for Jihad. Gets into the lane as his pass was stolen away.
Good help side by Natifo there.
Fisher all the way to the hoop, gets the lefty lay-in.
He's been dynamite so far. 9 points, few deflections, disruptive defensively. He's been the key to DME's early 9-point lead.
Foul called off the basketball. That's only 2 fouls against DME. They have plenty to use over the final 10 minutes and change, and Florida Elite will inbound. Randall quickly giving it back out to Adekon. Smothered by Richardson. Turns it over, stolen away by Natifo. Natifo splitting a double team. Got it knocked away and out of bounds.
Good pick and roll defense there by DME. They got the possession. Could have got 2 out of it, but they'll take the possession.
So Fisher will inbound from the baseline. 26 on the shot clock after the quick steal. Quick ball moving around the horn to the cutting Natifo on the baseline, who hauls it in with a bobble. This pass out gets into the hands eventually of Fisher, who resets out on the wing, crosses into the lane. The dump down to Natifo with contact, finishes and one.
Really good play there by Fisher. He's been dominating this game. They can't keep him out the paint right now, and he got Carl a nice little dump off there who finished with contact. Fisher came in to the preseason heavy and out of shape, and he's really played his way into shape. He's lost the weight, and he's been a very big player for Coach Alsous all season.
Turns into a 5-point possession for DME as Merchant with his first points of the game knocked down the triple after the offensive rebound. And DME with its largest lead up by 14, 22-8. Randall with the kick out. Adekon, cross-court pass. Open 3-pointer on the far side was no good for Sergi. And here comes DME. Getting it back to Merchant. Open 3 from the corner is too long. Fisher with the putback, no. Third shot of the possession is banked in.
He's filling up the stat sheet today.
It's a 20-4 run for DME over the last 7 minutes to build this current 16-point advantage. And that will cut into it a little bit. An and one on the baseline as Sergi was fouled on the take with the finish.
Much needed for Florida Prep because it was starting to, Florida Elite Prep was starting to get away from them a little bit. So they needed a basket there to try to stay in striking distance.
So the first free throw for Florida Elite Prep as they send in almost a whole new lineup, including number 20, the big man Pavel on the inside, who's in the game for the first time, fighting for that rebound after the missed free throw, still fighting for it, tipping it around, and eventually it's possessed by Richardson. Richardson to Natifo on the foul line. Back up top, Merchant. Gets bumped and turns it over, stolen by the Colts. Slowing up in the front court is Sergi. Now he gets it back, top of the key. Tries the far side, three-pointer is good. Jihad with the triple, and here comes the Colts getting right back in it within 11 points.
Mo needed that pretty bad. He's been struggling early on, missed a bunny early and had a turnover too, so it's good for him to see one get in the hole for once here early on.
Foul on a drive towards the block. Richardson will head to the free throw line.
That's Boris's third foul here in the first half. We'll see if Coach goes to a sub here or keeps in the physical Boris.
9 fouls overall against Florida Elite Prep. 8:23 to go first half. DME leading 24-13. And Richardson unable at the moment at least to add on, missing the first of 2. Richardson salvages the second attempt. DME up by a dozen. And Richardson waiting for the ball handler to bring it across. Here's the big man spotting up from beyond the arc. Rimmed in and out. And rebounded by Richardson. Speeding down the center of the lane, dumping off to Merchant, who gets blocked at the rim by Pavley. But the putback is banked in.
Good. You know, I like Pavley. He's active. He can shoot the ball. He's long. Does a good defensive play there. But great second effort by Sam to put it in, and it was a nice finish off the glass.
One-handed floater to the right of the lane. Good for Sergi, who has a couple of buckets here in the last few possessions. And Florida Elite Prep back within a dozen. Tifo at the foul line was fouled. So he'll stay right there at the stripe for what will be 2 free throws now that Florida Elite Prep has crossed the double-digit mark for team fouls this half, and that goes against the big man Pavel inside, trying to defend the pass to Natifo. And he drains the first. 7:25 left in the first half. Richardson checks out for DME as they lead 28-15. And Natifo gets the second to roll in. He hits them both. Pavel, maybe the tallest man on the floor, but he likes to play on the perimeter. And he's fouled on his take to the hoop. He'll head to the line for a couple of free throws.
Very impressed with him. Puts the ball on the floor. It's probably a full 6'8", 6'9". Surprised he came off the bench.
It's made an immediate impact, though he misses the first free throw. As soon as he checked in on a foul shot from a teammate, was fighting for the rebound. Had a nice block at the rim on the defensive end. Missed a 3 earlier, but sinks the second free throw here to get on the scoreboard, and Florida Elite Prep is within 13. Merchant off a screen, zigzags to the foul line before having to get rid of it. Natifo finds Patoma. He can shoot it, can't hit that 3, and it's rebounded by Jihad.
Good ball movement, good patience on the offensive end there. Florida Elite Prep really dodged the bullet there because Patoma got a great look.
Jihad guarded by Merchant. Uses a screen. Backdoor pass to the big guy inside is hauled in. Quickly kicks it out, and the three-pointer good on the wing for Alexa.
Another tough catch in traffic by Pavle. That was a nice catch and dump kick out to nice push in the break.
Here's another three-pointer. It's good this time for Boris. And here come the Colts as DME needs to take a timeout with just more than 6 minutes to go in the first half, and the DME lead suddenly trimmed to just 7 at 29-22 as the Colts have seemed to have found their stroke on the offensive end here of late.
Yeah, they're showing some life. They kind of were in the danger zone of getting blown out here in the first half. Still a lot of half left, especially when DME is in the double bonus, but I think he went to his bench. Coach went 5 in, 5 out, and that second unit really has picked up the energy and hit in some, banged in some shots, and we got a 3-possession game now.
14-5 run here for Florida Elite Prep to get back into single digits as they were trailing by 16 points. Just about 5 minutes of game action ago. 30-second timeout used for DME to try to stop the momentum of the visitors. And out of the timeout, Potomac will walk it up for DME with this 7-point lead in the later stages of the opening stanza. Bank shot never hit the rim. On a close look at the rack.
It's a good take there. He's got to get it hot, shoot a little softer on the glass and hit his target on the backboard.
Three-pointer once more. Couldn't be banked in by Jihad. Potomac out at midcourt. Calls the play. Gets a pair of screens. Decides to go right. Has his pass deflected. And it eventually ends up with Merchant, who spots up for 3 and hits.
Comes off the bench, and he's got a quick 8 points and a beautiful pass earlier on his first play that he made on the offensive end. So Merchant's been great so far here in the first half as well.
Hasn't been afraid to pull it from beyond the arc. Knocking down a couple thus far. There's a pass to nobody, stolen by Merchant, and he's fouled on the fast break. He'll get a pair of free throws out of it. So Merchant will head to the line for the first time, shoot a pair, have a chance to get into double digits already. With still 4:41 to go in the first half, DME leading by 10. And they'll stay that way after the first free throw is off the mark. Kriska back in. Natifo checks out for DME. Jones back in as well, and Merchant misses both free throws. So he knocks down a couple of threes, but couldn't hit either of his 2 foul shots. And it stays a 10-point deficit for Florida Elite Prep with the basketball now. Jihad. Hands off to the big guy. Here's Pavle in the lane. Kicks it back to Jihad. Creates a shot that couldn't be banked in. Rebound is batted out by Boris, who tracks it down. Pavle fakes a 3. They swing around the horn into the hands of Boris, who calls the play at the point. Off the screen. Now uses another pick from Pavle. Still dribbling at the top. Driving on Merchant. Gets this pass rejected by Griska into the hands of Potomac. Bouncing ahead, it's Gilliard who finishes with the window.
Boris has struggled on that play. Kept the ball, pounded it, and then turned it over. So teammates weren't happy with him either on that possession. And even though they got a second chance, they didn't even get a second chance opportunity in the shot.
There's a deep 3 from Pavle that's airballed out of bounds. Gilliard let it cross the baseline, and DME has it up 12.
Well, that was a frustration shot. He wasn't happy when Boris pounded it and never moved the ball, and he said, you know what, next time I get it, I'm going to shoot it. So just a little contagious there on that possession, and Coach takes out Boris on the dead ball, and you know, you can't have that on the road. You got to be together and make the most of each possession if you're going to beat a team on the road.
Gilliard with a tough three. That's no good, and a whistle as it hit out of bounds up by the shot clock. He'll turn it over to the Colts.
That was a bad shot there on that end. So good contest by the big fella, and you know, Jeremiah can really shoot the ball, but I saw Coach Alsus tell him, give him a little hesitation and attack.
Step back three-pointer is off the side of the rim. Alexa, who made one earlier, couldn't dial up there, and DME gets it back.
A lot of one-on-one right now for both teams. And, you know, I think DME's got to take advantage of the fact that they've been in the double bonus for the past 5 minutes and really haven't had many attacks to the basket. The one time they did off the turnover shot, missed both free throws. So really haven't made the most of it. And the lead's still at 12, and Florida Prep can really finish this half off strong. They'll be feeling pretty good about themselves going into halftime.
And they've certainly hung around here in the first 20 minutes after at one point trailing by nearly 20 points. Patoma on the wing, asks for a screen, gets one from Griska. Pick and roll, Griska with the two-hand slam.
Beautiful two-man game there from Patoma and Griska, and beautiful setup by Patoma.
Final 2 minutes of the first half, a 14-point lead for DME. Jihad going one-on-one with Griska. Pull-up jumper from the foul line, clanked off the back iron, and Jones skying for the rebound. Jones attempting to go coast to coast, now gets Patoma involved. Right back to Jones, who strives down the lane and gets fouled.
Good patience on that possession. I thought Patoma had a chance to take a shot, moved the ball to Charles Jones. He thought about it, up faked, attacked, got to the free throw line. I like the patience and also the focus on attacking the rim and putting the pressure on the refs to blow their whistle.
And Jones with the first free throw that goes. Griska getting checked out. Maybe blood on the uniform. And he'll head to the bench too. It appears trying to get cleaned up. And now he's going to check out for Sam Merchant. As we did hear the ref say that he has blood, so Griska will either get the jersey or the elbow that they were looking at cleaned up. It's a halt ban issue for the second half with 1:42 to go in the first. And the second free throw here for Jones is good as well. 16-point lead for DME. Final 100 seconds until halftime.
Florida Prep needs a basket pretty bad here. They need to try to trim this thing up in these last minute and a half.
Inside to Randall, who we haven't seen in quite some time, and he couldn't finish. Randall, one of the starters for the Colts. Once he went to the bench, did not come back in until just moments ago. There's Gilliard with contact, threw it up towards the rim, and he'll have to earn it at the line. Griska already heading back to the bench with just above the right wrist taped up. That seemed to be where the issue was. And he'll be good to go following halftime as Gilliard's free throw bounces off the back iron and popped out.
Jeremiah's struggling a little bit today, but he can really shoot the ball, and just getting one free throw to go down usually could jumpstart him, and he'll bang in a few jumpers here in the second half.
Final minute, first half. Randall gets it in the short corner for the Colts. There's a corner three, a line drive that never got above the rim from Sergi.
Yeah, you're going to struggle to score the ball if the ball doesn't go over 10 feet. So you know, Sergey's made a few buckets, but he's gone quiet here. And Florida Prep hasn't scored in a while. Can't remember their last basket. I think they cut the lead 29-22, and DME's on a 10-0 run here. It's not been an explosive 10-0 run. It's been more of just fouling and Florida Prep not getting anything done on the offensive end.
And we were even stuck at that score for quite a while before DME even got on the scoreboard to begin and start this current run. As a timeout's taken with 48 seconds left in the first half. And you said just a few moments ago, Florida Elite Prep, they had a chance to end the first half on a high note and get into the locker rooms with a single-digit deficit. But it's gone the opposite way. DME has been the ones that finished strong, and after their lead was trimmed to single digits, now they can head into the locker room with potentially a 20-point lead.
Yeah, and I think Coach Westham called the timeout here to try to get a 2-for-1, and it looks, it was a good play out the timeout, and unfortunately it didn't work for them, but they did get the 2-for-1.
What a block from Jones at the rim. Just pulled it away. And a foul call.
Yeah, Charles Jones could be such a good defensive player with his length and athleticism. You know, he's a full 6'6" and skilled on the offensive end, but defensively he's wiry and can get his hands on a lot of balls, and he showed that with that deflection and shot he blocked. Quiet game so far for him, but you know, he's also a guy who's just very talented and has a high ceiling.
So final 32 seconds. 2-second differential, game clock to shot clock. Florida Elite Prep can essentially hold it out for the final shot should they choose. Trailing here by 18 points. Just about halftime.
They're going a little too early. They're going to give DME a chance to score.
Randall double teamed, gives off. Shot was, or pass, ball knocked away and stolen by DME. Here's Gilliard tipping it to Jones. Jones couldn't finish, and the clock will expire here in the first half as neither team can score in their final possessions, and DME will take an 18-point lead into the lockers.
Yeah, I thought Jeremiah should have slowed up and just shot the little 15-foot pull-up instead of hesitating and then deciding to attack. So kind of missed an opportunity there, but DME finishes on a nice run and are comfortably in the lead right now.
Up 40-22 against Florida Elite Prep out of Miami, Florida, and this was at one point just a 7-point lead for DME. They closed out the first half on an 11-0 run. The Colts unable to get a single point over what felt like the last 5 or 6 minutes of that first half. And at the break, it's now an 18-point lead for DME as they pushed what was at one point a single-digit advantage back towards 20 like it was in the early going.
Yeah, and we talked about, you know, this game maybe being in the 60s. And looks like Florida Prep's going to end up in that range unless they have a hot shooting second half. And if they didn't put DME on the foul line so much, DME would probably be in the 60s, low 70s. So, you know, DME's in a good position and getting to the free throw line as much as they did. It's kind of the reason why they're in the lead right now.
So at the break, DME leads 40-22 and up by 18 here at the half as we'll check in momentarily on the sideline with the DME side with the 18-point lead here at the half that were led in the early going by DJ Fisher for DME. On their side, came out with the hot start to help build that lead for DME, and Fisher, who started the offensive attack, was helped out by Sam Merchant later on with 8 points off the bench. Charles Jones with a lot of nice plays on both the offensive and defensive side, and even Jeremiah Gilliard starting to warm up late in the first half. A bit of a balanced attack for DME offensively.
Yeah, and Sam, DJ got him off to a really good start. Sam picked it up, gave him a spark off the bench. Those two probably combined for about half the points today. And I think Tyrese Patoma is, you know, taking the leadership role at the point guard position. He's been very sharp. So think it's been a very balanced attack, and those two have been very good so far.
So at the half, DME leads 40-22, and with that said, let's check in now. The third member of our crew, Lauren, standing by courtside.
Coach Weston, we talked earlier about how they move the ball well and they know how to find great shots, but you guys actually went on a 10-0 run, now an 18-point lead. Tell me how you guys are able to pick it up on the offensive side, no matter what they do.
I guess it starts from our defensive side, actually, because we prepare for this game, for this team. As I told you before the game, they will move the ball, so we kind of anticipate those passes, this movement. We know kind of the plays they're going to run, so we anticipate that. We force some turnovers on their side, stealing the ball, score an easy baskets. This gives us an early lead. The good thing about our team today, too, offensively, that we are sharing the ball the way I want. Like, we are moving the ball. We are finding the right man on the right moment, so this is helping us to have, I guess, even we have 3-4 guys on 9-10 points, so it's team effort.
With Joshua Edwards out for an injury, Tyrese just came back on limited minutes because of an injury. How are you guys still able to bring it all you have, still with an 18-point lead?
It's a team effort, as I said. It's like we are preparing the guys to play no matter what. This is part of the game. We will face injuries through the season. We will face a lot of stuff. So this is obstacles we need to come over it. And this is what we were like practicing for the past 2 days about how we're gonna play without a 2-point guard, kind of. And I'm happy with the effort from the guys. I'm giving credit that we are playing really well.
All right, good luck the rest of the game.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Luke.
Thank you very much. That's the head coach of the DME squad ahead at 18 at the half, 40-22 in Daytona Beach against Florida Elite Prep out of Miami. And for DME with the 18-point lead, as we were discussing before the half, that as you said earlier, it was anticipated to be a lower scoring game. DME with 40 points at the half. They've held up their end of the bargain on the defensive end, holding Florida Elite Prep to only 22 points in the first half. They had one good run there, but otherwise it seemed to have been a struggle on that end of the floor for the Colts.
Yeah, I think offensively they've been disrupted. The pressure has got to them. They really don't have a guy that can create their own off the dribble. So when you disrupt them from being able to move the ball side to side and not get any penetration, and the ball stays out on the perimeter, you're going to have a lot of tough shots. So the name of the game is getting in the paint, making people have to help and get into rotations. And DME's been very good defensively where they haven't had to get into rotations and kept the ball in front of them and contested and haven't given up any second chance points that I can remember. So that's a good recipe for success on the defensive side. And I'm sure Coach Alsus is very happy with his defensive effort so far.
18-point lead at the break for DME. As the second half is coming up in just a little bit more than 4 minutes here from Daytona Beach. And so both teams trying to collect themselves here at the half, as mentioned. DME went out on a run about midway through that first half to build the lead up to 16. It was responded by a 14-5 run from Florida Elite Prep to get it back to single digits. And then with the game at 29-22 late in the first half, DME closing on an 11-0 run to push their lead now back to 18 here at the half. Their largest lead of the game against Florida Elite Prep, visiting from down south in the Miami area. And so with second half coming up in about 4 minutes, what do these Colts need to do to erase an 18-point deficit and at the minimum get back into this game here over the final 20 minutes?
Well, I think on the offensive side, they need to get out in transition, get a few easy baskets. They haven't had anything easy so far. And then I think they need to get to the free throw line. And then someone's got to dive to the basket on pick and rolls. Everyone wants to pop on the perimeter, and when you do that, there's no one that respects the basket, and there's just going to switch, and you can have a low guard switch out on the big, vice versa, when no one's diving to the basket and you're not punishing people inside. So they got to play more inside out. They need to get out in transition, and then on the defensive end, they need to keep DME off the offensive glass, and they need to keep people in front of them and not foul so much. They've racked up a lot of fouls, have some foul trouble, and if they're going to get back in this game, they got to make DME earn everything on the other end.
DME on the other side, the 18-point lead, but as a coach, I'm sure never pleased. You can always find something to work on. So what have you seen from the first half, or something that you haven't seen that you'd like to see in the second half for DME to put together a complete 40 minutes this afternoon?
Well, I think they're a little complacent. I think they need what you do here is you got a team on the ropes, you put them away. I think some of the guys have gone away and deviated from Coach Al Sousa's game plan and kind of the team balance attack and taking some quick shots. I would like to see them be a little more patient. I'd like to see them get out and transition a little more. And I'd probably go back to that full court press because I thought that the Colts really struggled with it and it turned them over. And I think you can put them away pretty early in the second half if you speed up the game a little bit. They want to play a slow, deliberate style. And I think that's kind of what we've allowed them to do. And even though they haven't played well and made many shots, 18 points gets cut to 12 in the first 4 minutes of the second half, you're in for a dogfight. So I'd like to see Coach Al Sousa and his team come out and put their foot on their throats and put them away here early in the second half.
Second half coming up in less than 2 minutes here from Daytona, with DME leading 40-22 against Florida Elite Prep, and then still have another game to come here from DME Sports Academy with tip-off coming up approximately around 2 o'clock, carried the same way that you are live streaming this one here from Daytona Beach this afternoon as we start the weekend at DME Sports Academy. And DME looking to begin with a victory with this 18-point lead. Who has impressed you most through the first 20 minutes on the DME side to help build this lead?
I'd say Dorian Fisher. He was on the offensive side, attacking the basket. He hit an NBA three. He made a beautiful pass to Natifo. Got a lot of hands-on balls on the defensive side. Even got a few offensive rebounds. I think he's really played a complete first half and kind of was quiet once Coach Al Sousa took him out and went to his bench a little bit and came back to him. But, DJ is just so steady and solid. He does everything you want from the coach's side of things and doesn't force the issue much. Really plays within himself, and I've been very impressed with how he's played so far for DME. I think he's been the best player on the floor in the first half.
Just about time for the second half, with the officials making their way back onto the floor and the teams heading back to their benches for any last-moment coaching prior to the final 20 minutes here in Daytona, with DME leading 40-22 against Florida Elite Prep from Miami, Florida. We're in the first half of today's doubleheader, and with the horn just about ready to tip it off with the final 20 minutes here in the second half, with quite the run needed by Florida Elite Prep. DME ended that first half on an 11-0 run after Florida Elite Prep had gone on a 14-5 run of their own, which at the time got the lead to single digits. But from 7 to now 18, that's where we begin in this final half, with the two teams switching sides. DME in the home white uniforms, as always, and the Colts in the visiting blues, with DME getting the ball first, possessing this 18-point lead. So the two teams switching sides. DME will score to the right on the side of their bench. And Gilliard set to inbound as we're underway in the final 20 minutes, with DME leading by 18. Colts come out in their half-court man-to-man. Potoma running the point for DME. Gets it back from Jones. Asking for a screen. He'll get it from Griska, who's back in the game with that right wrist taped up after getting cut open, and he finishes the layup for the first points of the second half.
They ran some nice two-man game in the first half. Potoma and Griska, and got a dunk, got a layup here to start the second half. And Coach Al Sousa comes out in the trap, in the full-court press to start the second half. So I like that adjustment by Coach Al Sousa to try to speed up the game and kind of put him away.
Colts able to handle it on the first possession at least, as Randall got the lay-in, but Fisher with a three-pointer on the other side, as the two teams coming out scorching to start the second half. Atacon turns it over, stolen by Gilliard. Fisher getting it back up top after hitting that 3 last possession, his second of the game, both from NBA range. And here's Gilliard trying from downtown. That's short. Gilliard could not get his own rebound. It was pulled away by Joe at the last moment. Colts facing their largest deficit of the game, down by 21 here in the early stages of the second half. A double team out at midcourt on Atacon. He has to get rid of it. Driving kick, finds it with Jihad, who couldn't knock down the mid-range jumper, but Randall with the offensive rebound. Atacon may have got away with a travel. Randall with the elbow jump off the back iron, rebounded by Jones.
They just struggle to score the basketball. Don't really have a real knockdown shooter, and their warts are kind of showing because of it. Not being able to really spread the floor and knock down shots.
Griska gets it in the lane, turnaround, fade away off the side of the rim. And the rebound is tipped over to the Colts. Atacon brings it up, calling the play with the left fist. Boris up top, Jihad. Atacon into the corner. With 5 to shoot, pull up 3 for the lefty. Atacon couldn't hit, and Potomo with the rebound. Pass behind Fisher was knocked out of bounds. Could not be handled, and DME with the turnover. DME leading by 21. About 3 minutes into the second half, and more backcourt pressure put on by the home team. Sergi trying to break it with Boris. And they will by getting it across midcourt to Joe. Joe inside to Randall, gets blocked from behind. I think it was Potoma, the guard who had the block on the defensive end, and now a steal for Jones.
Quick hands.
Gilliard lays it in.
Quick hands by Potoma. Good 2-on-1 fast break there by Gilliard and Jones.
Randall couldn't finish the alley-oop for the Colts. Gilliard firing into Griska, who finishes.
Another good pass by Gilliard.
Pace of play picking up here in the second half. DME sticking with the full court pressure. And they now lead by 25, their largest lead of the day, as Griska initiates the turnover, deflected a pass that Randall touched last, and the Colts give it back to DME. DME has gotten a lot of hands on basketballs today on that end of the floor as Potoma brings up with the 25-point lead. Alley-oop try to Fisher, and that didn't have a chance, was stolen away.
And there's the European, let me stop the fast break. Open floor foul by Arminas. Smart play. Florida Elite Prep struggling to score. You don't want to get them started with a few easy baskets.
Now an issue over at the scores table with 16:06 currently left in the second half. DME leading 49-24. They've started the second half on a 9-2 run after ending the first half on an 11-0 run. So add it up, it's 20-2 after this was a 7-point game. That has helped to try to put it away here early on in the second half as Fisher saves the rebound to Potoma. Fisher faking the three, getting in the lane and getting it stolen away. Jihad with the theft. Up the floor, Sergi's three never struck iron, and Jones has the rebound. Fisher with another three, short. Colts have the rebound, and walking it up is Boris, who will try to slow it down for maybe the first time this half. Three-pointer on the wing is perfect for Jihad. 22-point lead for DME. 5 minutes gone by in the final half. Fisher gives to Gilliard out in the perimeter. Into the corner, Patoma fakes the three. Drives and kicks to Jones. Jones all the way to the rack, lays it in. Now a double team in the backcourt. Jahan gets it across. Passes off into the corner, the three-pointer. Now it's going to be called a deep two with a foot on the line over there in the corner.
I think DME's getting a little complacent. They don't really respect these guys' offensive capabilities and how they're able to shoot the ball, gambling, not really sprinting back. I think this game's getting a little sloppy as they realize, you know what, they can't beat us.
Kreska misses the three. Pull-up jumper from the right elbow is too strong for Boris. Fisher up the floor. Jones open three off the back of the rim. Back and forth we go. DME leading by 22. And there's a foul with a rare whistle here in the second half.
Yeah, I like it. I'd let them play. I think this has been a painful game to call so far. Very, very, very rough. I think it's been, even from the beginning, it was 4-4 after the first 4 minutes. Kind of just a slow, sloppy game. But shots aren't being made for the most part. I mean, a few guys have played well, but for the most part, it's been pretty sloppy.
Contributing to DME building this 22-point lead, up 51-29 as they adjust the clock. The adjustments didn't quite work. They only get it squared away. 13:34 to go second half. And out of bounds, it appeared on the sideline, was Gilliard before he got the shot away. Only 29 points for Florida Elite Prep. 7 here in the second half. And those are the only 7 points they've scored in the last more than 10 minutes of game action. Probably creeping more towards 12 minutes. Here's a three-pointer. That comes up short for Boris. And the rebound ricocheting all the way out of bounds. DME gets it back up 22. Merchant, who had 8 points off the bench in the first half. Gilliard with the shuffle pass to the baseline for Jones, and Jones trying to save it. Instead, turned it over. Coast to coast, unable to complete the lay-in was Sergi. Now DME with the pass up ahead that's deflected and eventually stolen by Jahan. Sergi fouled under the hoop. That's only the second foul on DME, so the Colts will inbound. Gilliard checks out for DME with the 22-point lead, 12:37 to go. Inbounds goes to Miko in the short corner. Natifo guarding him. Miko powering his way to the block. Turnaround jumper blocked by Natifo out of bounds. And it was last touched by Miko. Nice defense by Natifo. Forces the stop.
Yeah, it was a good defensive play there. Carl's got a really long wingspan. He's only about 6'6", maybe 6'7", but his wingspan's over 7'2". He's got about I believe a 7'4" wingspan. So, and he's got good lift and was able to show that there with the nice block on the defensive side of the ball.
And he's got the Kurt Rambis rec specs. Rambis quite the defensive player in his own right. Tifo now gets it on the offensive end. Attacking from the corner, the kick out. Merchant, that's going to be a goaltend, as it appeared the three may have fallen anyways.
Yeah, that was a really nice sweep through and kick out by Natifo there on the offensive end. Really good footwork, and it was a good play by him.
Quick hands from Jones forces the steal. Merchant with the theft up ahead, back to Jones. Jones rises for the slam with authority.
Good hands. He gets those hands. He uses that wingspan he's got. Disrupts the offensive players often, especially when Alsus goes to his 1-3-1 zone. The trap, he really puts CJ at the top of it, and it really causes havoc. And CJ with the nice DM.
So timeout taken by Florida Elite Prep, trailing 53-29 with a full timeout here, almost midway through the second half. And we discussed at the half for Florida Elite Prep that had been a struggle in the first half offensively. Really not much to write home about with the 22 points. Not a whole lot for the Colts to feel good about. And here in the second half, they've come out with only 7 points in nearly 10 minutes of action as the lead has ballooned from 18 to 24. Still just not much going the way of Florida Elite Prep.
Yeah, the pressure has kind of caused them to not really know what to do on the offensive end. They've been kind of more in, let's just not turn it over and get it up the floor. And now with Coach Alsus in his 1-3-1, let's see how they attack the zone.
They're working around the perimeter. Quick passes. Boris with the three from the top. No good. Natifo with the rebound. There's Merchant all alone with the dunk.
Good pass by Giannis there.
And Merchant into double figures, now at 10 points. One of the newest members of this team. Turnover for the Colts as Jihad couldn't haul in the pass, tipping it out of bounds. Florida Elite Prep was stuck at 22 points for a while. Now they've been caught at 29. They trail by 26. DME almost doubling them up on the scoreboard, nearly midway through the second half. Tifo gives way. Three-pointer no good, rebounded by Jihad. Another try for Boris from beyond the arc. That was halfway down. Popped out and into the hands of Miko, who finishes the putback.
That was a good offensive possession there by Florida Elite Prep. Really moved the ball, made the extra pass. And, you know, when things like that happen, usually you get offensive rebounds. You get the defense out of sorts and out of positioning. And Miko was able to corral the offensive rebound and have a nice finish off the glass with the left hand.
First points in quite some time for the Colts, and now they get the ball back on an offensive foul charged against DME. Jihad back to Boris. Boris, jump pass to Jihad. Open three on the wing is airballed. Boris saves it on the baseline. Shot clock to single digits. Here's Boris spotting up in the corner and draining the triple.
5-0 run. Watch out.
One of the best stretches today for the Colts. Trying to get it going again offensively. They had one section of that first half where they hit back-to-back threes. And it looked like they finally found something on the offensive end. Otherwise, it's been a real struggle today. Nice finger roll.
Coach Alsus like that. That was a beautiful, well-designed play there. And Giannis finishes with the left hand. The Canadian, who actually scored a 34 out of 35 on his ACT.
Wow.
Recently.
Did you take the ACT?
No, I took the SAT. And the first one was embarrassing.
Well, then I won't ask you your score.
Second time, got a 15-10 on the 3 parts, and I was like, that's good to go. I'm not going to do it anymore. Take that, and whatever I can get into, I'll take it and roll. I was getting recruited by Penn and Princeton.
Wow.
Oh, no, was it Princeton? It might have been Yale. 2 Ivy League schools. And when they wanted my SAT score, I never heard from them again. So
I certainly did not get a 34 on my ACT. I did take that test.
Yeah, I probably should have. Isn't that more math?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
I think so, which suited me well. 21-point lead for DME and a turnover for the Colts. The only thing more painful than the ACT or SAT discussions may be some of the things that the offense has done for the Colts today, as they have managed 36 points, trailing by 21 with 8:35 to go here in Daytona. Step back 3 for Merchant, who's been confident today. Couldn't hit that one.
Yeah, I thought the 60s would be where this game would be played at, and maybe they'll get to the 50s, maybe 60s, but they better get some shots to fall if they're going to get that to happen. They really struggled to score today.
Merchant into the lane, up top to Richardson for the reset. And Richardson fouled blatantly by Boris, who went lunging in.
He's got 4. Only the second team foul. So they've done a better job not fouling in the second half, but they've not been able to get any easy baskets and played in the half court. So it's been a day to forget so far for Florida Elite Prep, and I'm sure they're much better offensively than they've shown today. But give Coach Alsu some credit. His team was ready and prepared, and have done a very good job so far to disrupt them.
Full timeout taken by DME. They lead 57-36. Around 8 minutes left here in the second half in Daytona, with DME trying to close out the victory. And this timeout allows us to talk more about standardized tests. I'm kidding. But to talk about this game itself this afternoon for DME, now with the 21-point lead. And we sound like a broken record as DME has controlled this entire game, but led by 18 at halftime. They've come out here in the second half and have looked just as good, mainly on the defensive end, where they've allowed only 36 points. And quite frankly, a lot of bad shots, it seems, from Florida Prep. They haven't been able to get to the rim a whole lot.
Yeah, nothing has came inside the paint, and no one really tries to penetrate. And all the high pick and rolls that they've ran have never been rolls. They've all been pops, and if you're going to do that, it's going to kill your offense. Very predictable.
There's Natifo, unable to finish, gets his own rebound and banks it in. A 23-point lead for DME with 7.5 to play.
There's an inside touch, and what do you know? They get a basket. So
Nico feeds me Crow as he gets his second bucket of a half, trimming it to a 21-point deficit for the Colts out of Miami. Richardson with the runner, kissing it off the window.
It's a nice take by Richardson. He's a high-energy player who really competes on every possession and likes to attack the basket and does a pretty good job of it.
Nico unable to finish that bunny. Merchant with the rebound, bringing up for DME. Eludes the pressure put on by Boris. Three-pointer air ball. Alexa into the corner, the three-pointer, no good for Boris, who has just let it fly from beyond the arc here this half. With a bit of reckless abandon, really hasn't made many. Merchant Moving to his left, down the lane, got it poked free from behind, stolen. Here's Jihad all alone, and Jihad will lay it in.
Good defensive play by him, and they're into the 40s.
Gets rewarded on the other end. 21-point lead for DME, final 6 minutes. And a foul called as Richardson was trying to get towards the rim. Was cut off and fouled by the big man Pavley. And DME will inbound, just a third foul this half against Florida Elite Prep after they crossed the double-digit mark in the opening half. So Richardson to inbound from the baseline. And Anichi gets it stolen away by Pavley. There's the big guy in transition. Nice bounce pass to Boris, who's fouled.
He's a good ball player. He hasn't made a shot today. Hasn't played that much. I don't get why he hasn't played much. He's their best player, and it's not even close. But maybe, Coach knows more than I do, but I see maybe something happened. But he's been very good in retrospect of the fact that they've only scored 41 points. So, I think he's done some nice things on the defensive end, made some nice passes, shows a good skill set. He's got great length. I wonder who's looking at him, even though I think he can shoot the ball. I think he's just had an off day shooting. It looks pretty good coming off his hands.
That one didn't look so good from Natifa, who airballed everything. Jihad with the one-handed floater down the lane. Rebounded by Richardson. Richardson weaving through the traffic, couldn't finish the teardrop. And the rebound ripped away by Jihad. Pavley gives into the corner. Boris, this time able to connect from beyond the arc.
Well, they're starting to get it rolling a little bit. We got a 16-point game with 5 minutes left. This game really isn't over. But, well, then that happens. But, 16 points, 5 minutes left. It's not, DME's not out the woods. It just seems like it just because how points have been so hard to come by for Florida Prep. But, they kind of got away from playing team ball, DME, and everyone's kind of looking and seeking their own, and they haven't scored in a while. So just now.
Tifo checks out after the air ball, and Merchant completes the old-fashioned three-point play to give him a baker's dozen today. And that's back-breaking for Florida Elite. They got right back in it, and now suddenly down by 19 with 4:35 to go.
Tough shot.
High arcing three, no good by Pavley. Richardson comes to get it for DME. Spinning and throwing it away. It was stolen by Jihad. Jihad to the corner, three-pointer. Alexa is too strong, into the hands of Merchant. Merchant taking on the defense. Down the lane, the scoop shot hit the bottom of the rim. And the outlet pass was off the mark and out of bounds from Jihad trying to go to Boris.
Well, this has just been sloppy. That's the only word you can really explain. Sam Merchant goes 1-on-3. Probably shouldn't have done that. They turn it over on the other end. Air ball here, air ball there. It's been a very sloppy second half. And lackadaisical by DME.
DME led 40-22 at the break. They're now up 19 with 3:36 to go in the game. The lead hasn't been cut to single digits since the final minutes of the first half, where DME ended that half on an 11-0 run to get the lead back to 18 at intermission. DME up 19, 3:25 to go. And a chance to push it to 20 for the first time in a few moments. There is a 20-point lead for DME with less than 3.5 to play. Boris will bring up for the Colts. Boris with another three-pointer off the mark. There were no official stats from our side today, but Boris has attempted probably more than 10 three-pointers from beyond the arc. As DME unable to finish in transition. Here's Boris, and a foul called.
Yeah, Boris is two things I've noticed with Boris. He's fouled a lot and he's shot a lot of threes. Those are two things I've noticed. He's made a few late in the second half. He's hit a few, but he's had a rough go at it. And usually, if your team doesn't have a good game, you're going to go down with the ship too. So I'm starting to think that prediction in the 60s might hold up, which I didn't see it happen in that way with the way DME came out to start the second half. But having this guy on the court, well, the refs aren't calling anything right now. They're ready to go. That was a foul.
A lay-in on the other side for Jode. It's turned into a bit of a pickup game. With DME leading by 18, 2:15 to go. And these two teams essentially playing out the string at this point. Shot clock to single digits for Merchant. Getting to the foul line and kicking back to Fisher. 3 to shoot. Fisher off a screen, double team. Jones unable to get it off in time to beat the horn, and the second shot clock violation today.
Good defensive possession by Florida Prep right there. And they've competed hard. They've tried to trim away at this thing. They just haven't been able to. So, but if they could have been in the 60s, they'd be right here. Good pass. Got to catch it.
Going to be handled by Miko, and he turns it over. Fisher up the floor for DME. We're within the last 100 seconds here with DME leading by 18 in the first half of today's doubleheader. Gilliard unable to complete the runner. Miko hauled in the board. Unable to handle the pass was Joe. Stolen away by Jones. Jones fouled. So 1:07 left, 18-point lead for DME, and Jones will head to the line for two and the chance to pad the stat column. And Jones misses the first.
Ooh. Coach Alsus can't be too happy with this second half. Really, probably to be honest, with the full game. I thought, even though they had some moments where they were good, for the most part, I thought it was a very poorly played game by DME.
Jones gets the steal and fouled again, so he'll head right back to the line where he just missed a pair with now 1:01 to go.
Redemption right here.
It's got to be odd for a coach, or at least those on the outside, to think about it, where a team could win by 20 and yet the coach can still leave unhappy about it.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is the thing. I played the number 10 team in the country last Friday on the road. and we only lost by 12. As a first-year program, outside people looking at, man, you guys played pretty well. You guys competed. That's really good. No, we turned it over 25 times. I mean, they didn't play a very good game. If they, we had a chance to beat a top 10 team in the country if we just show up and take care of the ball, and we didn't do that. So, it looked good when you tweet about it, but at the end of the day, it was not a very good performance, and we let a golden opportunity slip away. So I look at this game and say, man, Florida Prep didn't play very well. And we're at home, more talented team, and we weren't able to really leave feeling good about ourselves as a team. I thought we were very, very sloppy.
Quite a few dunks today for DME, but Griska couldn't get that one. He'll have to head to the line as the Colts show some pride late in the final 30 seconds, trailing by 21.
It's a big shot here for me.
DME most likely now won't be able to get to 70. They should be able to win it in the 60s, as you so expertly predicted. Griska gets
they're
second.
pressing, so I wish Seuss would pull that press off. Don't foul.
Nico couldn't finish the lay-in. And DME can dribble out the final 10 seconds en route to what will be a 69-47 victory against Florida Elite Prep out of Miami, Florida. And DME on the home floor starts off today's doubleheader with a big victory, winning by 22 this afternoon against the Colts from Miami. And Mike, you saw it clearly. Took 60-plus points for DME there for the 22-point victory today, 69-47 in a game they only trailed once, and that was in the first 5 minutes today.
Yeah, I thought they played a average game. Thought there was some bright spots with Arminas. Griska played pretty well. I thought Charles Jones was good defensively. Dorian Fisher was the best player on the floor today. He had a quiet second half, but they didn't need him, and they rested him. And Coach got to play everybody, which was good. Everybody got really good minutes. That was the positive of today is everybody got to make some plays. And Giannis had some nice plays, nice pass to Sam, and also had a nice take and beautiful finger roll, stuff like that. Dimitri Richardson was pretty good in his time, rebounding, pushing the break. So it was a good opportunity for the whole team to get on the floor and get quality minutes. So I think that's kind of what Coach Seuss used this game as it played out, because he realized, you know what, we're playing sloppy, might as well play my bench, get them a lot more comfortable. He's got a few new guys on his roster with Carl Natifo now on his team, Charles Jones on his team now, so and Sam and Zach just adding to the mix. So he used it as a kind of a tune-up, I think, for the situation that kind of played out.
So DME wins this afternoon, 69-47. And speaking of Dorian Fisher, let's check in now courtside with the third member of our crew once again, Lauren.
Dorian, 14 points, but not even that, a 22-point lead. Tell me the mindset you guys had coming into this game, being so efficient, knowing exactly what you guys had to do.
Last game we didn't do as well, so this game we had to be more focused. We got to layup lines earlier. We did everything we had to do. We started from layup lines, and we just had to bring the energy that we lost last game, so we did a great job this game.
And you talk about the energy. When you guys were warming up, Coach Westham pointed to his head saying, it's all about focus, guys, focus, focus. Tell me how you guys focused tonight with making sure you guys close the deal.
Just one possession at a time, making extra passes, playing team ball. We had to bring a different type of energy this game, that we focus, energy. Just had to bring something different this game.
All right, great game today.
Hey, thank you.
All right, back to you, Luke.
Thank you very much, Lauren, and thank you to our excellent crew, as always, getting the job done behind the scenes this afternoon to make this all possible, as DME wins this afternoon in the first half of our doubleheader, 69-47 against Florida Elite Prep out of Miami, Florida, led by Dorian Fisher for the 22-point victory. Well, that's the first half of today's doubleheader. These two teams will square off, or rather these two programs will square off once again at the top of the hour in just about 30 minutes for the second half of our doubleheader, which can be streamed right here the same way You just watched DME win the first game, 69-47. For my broadcast partner, Michael Panaggio, I'm Luke Morrow as we take about a 30-minute break, and we'll come back less than that with the second game of today's doubleheader right here at the DME Sports Academy in Daytona.